I threw out your stuff because it was in the way.
Just as I thought, it was Caroline's doing. All of my things, from clothes to cosmetics, were gone. Thankfully, I had taken my computer with me when I left, so it was safe. But this was really pushing my buttons. Robert was smirking right alongside Caroline. Caroline started it, and Robert helped her. Why the blank stare? If you need something, go pick it up from the trash.
And you might as well move out. You're in the way, old lady.
I've been lenient because she's his daughter from another marriage, and I've never challenged Robert's parenting decisions. But her attitude has been disrespectful from the start, and after ignoring me for a year, she threw out all of my things. Anyone would be mad after all this. They have no idea what they're in for when I get angry. What pitiable folks they are. It's decided I'm getting a divorce. Who knows if Caroline will make it to college, and Robert, with all his hobbies, will surely get stressed out when he can't afford them anymore. And first off, he won't have a house anymore. It'll be a sight to see.
Oh, I see. I'm the nuisance. Fine, I hope you two regret it. Don't come crawling back to me later. No matter how much you cry or get angry, it won't concern me anymore. Regret it, all right?
My name is Nancy Rivers. I'm 38 years old and own a house. I hate when people get too nosy about my job, so I say I've renovated my parents' home and live there. I originally started with investments, and even after switching to high-risk, high-reward stocks, my assets have been growing steadily. My father was into investing in stocks, and taught me the ropes ever since I could remember, so while I'm self-taught, I believe it suits me. Then, my encounter with Robert happened when he joined the gym I'd been attending for years. We happened to wear sportswear from the same brand, which led Robert to strike up a conversation. We started chatting more and more every time we met, and soon began hanging out. Robert had a lot of hobbies, like the gym, golf, cars, fishing, and he was so knowledgeable about them all. I was never bored with him. When he asked me out, we had this conversation.
Ever since I first saw you, Nancy, I couldn't get you out of my mind. I want us to date with marriage in mind. Yes, I'd love to. I'm so happy, I felt the same way.
There's something I have to tell you. What is it? Well, I'm divorced. My ex-wife didn't understand my hobbies and always negated them. That's why we split up. I have a daughter with her, and I've been taking care of her at my parents' home. I'm sorry, I was worried that if I told you this, you wouldn't want to be with me. Are you okay with all this?
Well, if I'm gonna become her stepmom, I'd better get on good terms with her, right?
Nancy, does that mean?
I don't mind all that. No matter what happened, my feelings for you won't change.
After that, we began dating. Back then, Robert's daughter, Caroline, was in 6th grade and I thought she was a sweet and friendly child. Whenever we met, she always greeted me with a bright smile and seemed so happy.
Nancy, I'm so glad to see you today. I love shopping for clothes with you. Oh, Caroline dear, you're truly adorable. Makes me want to buy you something.
Look at you two having fun. Let me join in too.
Dad's just being jealous.
Indeed, Robert sure gets jealous easily. I always felt that Caroline was really attached to me. I'd often buy her clothes that suited her, and I used to bring cake every time I visited, which she always loved. One evening, during dinner, Caroline quietly mentioned it'd be so much fun if Nancy were with us every day. That became the catalyst for Robert to propose to me. It happened about 2 years after we started dating. When Caroline started 9th grade, given that I was living in a single-family home, both of them moved in with me. At that time, I hadn't told Robert about how I earned my living, only mentioning that I was a remote worker. I once told an ex-boyfriend in detail about my income. But after I did, he started mooching off me, making it hard for me to break up with him. I had intended to tell Robert after our marriage, but time flew and I completely forgot. A year and a bit after we started living together, with Caroline nearing the end of her freshman year in high school, I began to notice a change. Both Caroline and Robert's attitudes towards me had visibly soured. Robert's take-home pay was roughly $2,700 and he used to contribute around $1,000 for household expenses since we lived in a house I owned. However, now he only put in $200, spending the rest on himself and Caroline. When they ran out, both would come asking me for more. They seemed to be spending a lot on their hobbies. Robert was lavish in his spending. One day, I had to address the issue. Hey, Robert? Can we talk? Now? I gotta play my game, so make it quick.
Caroline's spending seems excessive. Buying her designer items and expensive things while she's just a high school freshman? How much allowance are you giving her? And Robert, while it's fine to have hobbies, aren't you spending way too much? You're also making in-app purchases, right? Why not sell stuff you don't use?
How much did I give Caroline again? Like $1,000 or something, right?
I want to buy her everything she wants, and she says there are a lot of places she wants to go.
Caroline's my precious only daughter, so why not? And don't interfere with my hobbies. Though even if you did, I wouldn't listen. I work hard every day to feed y'all, you know?
What?
You're saying I can't even have hobbies?
Wait, what? You gave her $1,000? What on earth were you thinking? Hold on, are you saying you're giving her $1,000 a month and she's still asking me for allowance? In that case, I need to talk to Caroline too. But let's address your excessive spending first, okay? It's not about you quitting your hobbies, it's about you spending too much. Do you even realize how much money you're putting into the house? It's just $200, how are we supposed to live? Hey, don't be too hard on Caroline, alright? She's just a kid. And so what if I spend too much? It's my hard-earned money. Look, I've always been the type to dive in headfirst when it comes to things I like. And I'm contributing $200, isn't that enough? Your place is already paid off, so we don't have expenses there. Plus, you're working too, right? We've managed until now, so don't make a fuss. Yes, it's your money, but there should be limits, right? Just because it's a paid-off house doesn't mean there are no taxes or utilities. Our bills can't be covered with just $200. I'm working too, but the point is, you're overspending.
At my parents' house, $200 was enough. If there's a shortfall, why don't you cover it?
You mean at your dad and mom's place, right? They're both still working, aren't they? And the size of their home is different from ours. We have to pay more because of that. Are you subtly telling me my parents' house is small? That's it, I've had enough of this. Just go away, I'm not listening anymore. You're so bothersome, Nancy.
No, Robert, that's not what I meant. You brought up the subject of money in the first place. Why cut me off when I'm still speaking? While I was still talking, Robert put on his headphones and started playing a game, so I couldn't continue the conversation. I had to tell Caroline something important, but she was out having fun and I didn't know when she would be back, so I couldn't find the right time. Right after Caroline started her junior year of high school, the weather was bad and we all happened to be home, so I suggested we have a family meeting. Despite the clear reluctance from the two of them, I managed to convince them, saying it wouldn't take long. We decided to have the talk in the living room. Caroline, I heard from Robert that he's been giving you $1,000 as an allowance. But every month you also come to me asking for money. What are you spending all that on? Also, you've been staying out too late too often. Enough is enough.
Why are you butting in? You're not even my real mother. It's none of your business what I do. Leave me alone. You might not be my biological child, but right now, I am your mother. If you continue spending money like this, you're gonna face issues in the future. That's why I'm concerned. If you don't tell me why you need so much money, I won't give you any. Ugh, this is so annoying. I just have a lot of things I want. There are social commitments too, can't you just stay out of it?
Exactly, high school students have their own social lives, you know. Don't be so naggy.
I get that she has friends and that teenagers want brand name stuff. But this is about the amount she's getting. What's your deal? Everyone gets this much, it's normal. Things are different from when you, old lady, were young. Back then, you'd get me cakes and all the stuff I wanted without asking. But now you're acting all high and mighty. It's kinda funny. Hold on, did you just call me old? I am your mother, Caroline. It's my responsibility to tell you when something isn't right.
I got a bit heated and responded strongly. It seemed Caroline didn't like that. She made an annoyed face, clicked her tongue loudly, and began to raise her voice.
Seriously, this is so annoying. I thought we were playing Happy Family because you'd buy me anything I wanted. Why are you acting all high and mighty now? Just forget it, I'm gonna act like you don't exist, so stop interfering. Wait a minute. Nancy, enough is enough. You're going too far. Apologize to Caroline. What? Am I the bad guy now? Playing Happy Family? What does that even mean?
I thought you'd be an easygoing woman.
Guess I was wrong. Just apologize, okay?
I was taken aback. I hadn't realized that Robert felt that way too. From the next day, Caroline completely ignored my existence. Robert texted me in the morning, "I won't talk much until you apologize to Caroline." As days went by, I started to question the purpose of us being together and began contemplating divorce. It had been about a year since Caroline started ignoring me. Caroline was in her senior year of high school. Robert and Caroline continued their reckless spending, and even when I stopped giving them money, they would withdraw funds from the account meant for bills. Even though I was depositing nearly $2,000 every month, they withdrew it all. Due to their continuous behavior, I made a decision and approached Robert for a discussion. "Robert, do you have a moment? I need to talk." "What's up? You finally gonna apologize to Caroline?"
"No. I don't see a reason for us to be together anymore. I want you to leave this house." "Excuse me? Have you lost your mind?"
"No, I'm serious." All right. Give me some time to think, okay? I need to talk to Caroline too."
"I'd like you to leave in 3 days. I've taken the day off work and will be at the gym. Please pack your things and leave by the time I get back."
"Oh, in 3 days? Got it." I couldn't tell if Robert was really listening, but I said what I had to say. I had a feeling that they both would not want to stay in the same house as me. 3 days later, I spent some time at a cafe, did an extended workout at the gym, and then returned home. Seeing their shoes still in the house, I assumed they were still around. But when I opened the shoe cabinet to put away my gym shoes, I was shocked. All of my heels, pumps, and boots that were supposed to be there were gone. I had a bad feeling and hurried inside. When I reached my room, everything was missing. I couldn't find a single piece of jewelry anywhere. As I rushed to the living room, I saw Caroline and Robert. Both were smirking at me. Then, after a year of silence, Caroline spoke to me. "Oh, you're back. What's the rush?"
"Where's my stuff?"
"We thought your things were in the way, so we threw them out." Just as I suspected, it was Caroline's doing. All my belongings, like my clothes and makeup, were gone. Thankfully, I had taken my computer with me, so it was safe, but this is just too much, and I'm really ticked off. Robert and Caroline are both smirking together. It was Caroline who started it, and Robert just helped her.
What's with that blank look? If there's something you really need, why don't you pick it up? By the way, why don't you just leave?
You're in the way, old lady.
Oh, I see. I'm a bother, huh? Fine, I hope you both get what's coming to you. And don't come crawling back later. It won't matter to me whether you cry or get mad, I hope you regret it.
Regret? Why would we cling to an old lady like you?
That's right, just like Caroline said. We're the ones doing you a favor by being married to you. We might appreciate you for being married, but we won't ever cling to you in tears.
Hearing this, I took my belongings and headed to a motel. Luckily, there was a room available, and I was able to stay the night. Watch me. Thinking that, I did what I needed to do. And then, about a month later, my phone rang loudly. It was from Robert. I knew he'd call eventually. It was so predictable, I couldn't help but chuckle. I let it ring for a while before answering.
Hey! Nancy, where the hell are you? Enough is enough, come back home. Oh, I'm just the bothersome old lady, remember? Enough already. If you're sorry, come back and live with us.
Live together? You have quite a sense of humor.
Why don't you just sign the divorce papers I put in the mailbox? Mailbox? Divorce papers? What are you talking about?
Ugh. Haven't you checked the mailbox? Why don't you look now? Just wait. I guess he went to check the mailbox because I could hear footsteps over the phone. I decided to wait. After a bit, I heard the sound of him hurrying back. He probably was shocked by what he found.
Nancy, there's an overdue notice for the electric bill. What's with this amount? But the lights are still on, and the water's hot. I paid it, so why did it come?
Robert, you don't know anything, do you? We have an all-electric house, so the bill's always been that much. And if there's an overdue notice, the due date is the end of this month, right? You'd better pay it. I'm not living in that house anymore, so I haven't paid. Plus, I changed the auto payment to your bank account. You know electricity doesn't get cut off immediately if you don't pay, right? Didn't you even know that?
What the hell? There's no money in my account to auto pay. Please, pay it. I'm broke till my next payday.
Why do I have to pay for you guys? Isn't the cell phone bill due soon?
Hold on. Nancy, did you switch the mobile account to mine too?
Yes. Both yours and Caroline's charges are being deducted from your account. Caroline's too? How much is it gonna be in total? You probably wouldn't know. You spend money on in-app purchases, and Caroline shops using a payment method that bills along with her cell phone. Including mine, it's about $2,500 a month.
What? That much? I don't think I spent that much on games.
Well, when you weren't spending, it seems Caroline was buying accessories. You spend at least $800 every month, don't you? Don't you realize that? By the way, my share was just a bit over $100, I think.
I can't do this. There's no way I can pay that much.
Robert, want me to clue you in on something? What is it? Our monthly expenses, including the allowance I've been giving you both, amount to almost $8,000. Did you know that? House taxes, utilities, your car loan, mobile bills, the money spent on your hobbies, the money I gave Caroline, and everything else. It's roughly this amount.
Wait, what? $8,000? Hey, there's no way.
It's true. Remember when I got mad at you for overspending? There were times when it even crossed $10,000. Wasn't it when Caroline bought 3 designer bags? Well, I could pay it because it was me. Hold on, Caroline was spending that much? There's no way I can afford that. And what do you mean you could pay because it was you? What's that supposed to mean? Robert, you really didn't know much about my job, did you? Anyway, I'll have to go to the house for some business soon, so I'll tell you then.
Wait, are you coming back? Thank God. Please come back soon.
Huh? What are you talking about? It will be when I see you next. Meantime, you'll have to handle the payments yourself, okay? With that, I abruptly hung up the phone. Feeling somewhat refreshed, Robert lounged around when his phone rang again. He quickly answered upon seeing the caller ID. Now that a date was set, I decided to leave a message. I told Robert I'd see him in a week and then I muted only his contact number. A week later, when I arrived, Robert had taken the day off and was eagerly waiting for her. I figured he'd be there, but was still debating whether or not to talk about my job directly. Considering all possibilities, I decided I'd bring it up just before leaving. I've been waiting. Who are those guys? Multiple boyfriends? No. They came to look at the house. Why? I'll tell you everything before I leave. First, what did you do about the payments? And the divorce papers?
I had to beg my parents to lend me some money. I need your help from next month, okay? We're not getting a divorce. No, I'm gonna get a divorce. I won't pay. Why the hell not? Then why'd you come back?
To get your signature on the divorce papers. You thought I was here to check out the house?
Hell no. I'm not divorcing, so I ain't signing any papers. What do you mean by checking out?
Forget about the checking out for now. If you don't sign the divorce papers, Caroline will be mad at you. If you don't want Caroline to hate you, you'd better sign them. Otherwise, I might consult a lawyer and ask you to pay back all the money I've spent on you, okay?
Fine.
Oh, did the mention of a lawyer scare you? I just don't want Caroline to hate me. And if you're gonna send me a bill for everything, I'll just get a divorce. But let's live here together. What? No way. Just then, the men who had come with Nancy returned from checking out the house. Turns out, they were contractors specializing in demolition. I got his signature on the divorce papers and revealed the truth as we were leaving. Ah, you'll need to move out of this house soon. Just so you know.
What the hell do you mean?
Well, I built this house.
What? I thought you just renovated your parents' house. Hey, you never mentioned this.
No, you got it wrong.
I wanted to talk about it when we had more trust. But thanks for showing your true colors early.
So, Nancy, you must be making a lot of money, right? You never mentioned a mortgage or anything. I've already paid off the mortgage. We'll talk about the rest later. I want to go and submit these divorce papers now.
If you're making that much, forget the divorce. Give that back.
Robert tried to snatch away the divorce papers, but the burly contractors easily restrained him. Eventually, they took him in their truck to the courthouse. The divorce papers were accepted without issue. The next day, perhaps he had the day off, Robert called several times. Figuring he was curious about work, I answered the phone. Instead of Robert, it was Caroline, though it sounded like Robert was there too since she was on speaker.
Hey! What do you think you're doing? You told my dad to leave, right? Explain yourself.
Oh, morning Caroline. Yes, you need to leave because I bought that house.
What? My dad said you just renovated your family home, so he could easily take it over.
So he said that, huh? Thanks for letting me know.
Caroline. Don't butt in. Tell me, Nancy, how on earth were you making such large payments? Oh, I meant to tell you. I'm an investor, you know. I've been trading stocks for a few years now. I have some friends who tried that, but they never made any money. There's no way someone like you could've. Well, I actually did. My dad's also an investor, a successful one. He lives overseas now.
That explains why we had our wedding meeting via video call.
You got it. There's a pandemic over there right now, so he can't come back to the States.
So, Nancy, were you living off your parents' money? Only at the beginning. Borrowed some but paid it right back. Want to know my total assets?
Don't beat around the bush. I bet it's something like $100,000?
Nope, you're off by a few zeros.
Don't tell me it's $1 million.
Close, it's $9 million.
What?
You missed out on a big catch. Too much for you to handle, I guess. Hold on, you're lying.
Lies. There's no way you're making that kind of money.
If you think I'm lying, that's fine. We won't be seeing each other again.
Wait, Nancy. Let's get back together. Please, come back.
Well then, bye-bye. Saying that, I hung up, blocked his number, and also blocked his messages. Feeling liberated, I started looking for a new place to live. A few days later, a call came from an unknown number. When I answered, it was Robert using the company's cell phone. I didn't know the company's phone number.
Nancy. Please, don't hang up. Listen to me.
What is it? A demolition crew is here. They're telling me to leave my house. Can you help? Where are you right now? We could come over. That ain't happening. Goodbye.
Wait. Mom. It's me, Caroline. I'm sorry for what I said. Please, can we live together again?
Caroline, I'm not your mother anymore. Don't come crawling back now.
It was my fault. Marry Dad again. I won't be able to go to college and my cell phone's gonna get cut off soon. Please, I promise to be good.
Poor thing. But remember, Caroline, it was you who refused when I tried to become your mother. Life's not always a cakewalk, you know? Maybe you should give up on college for now and get a job. Or take out a student loan.
A student loan? No way. My college life as a girl. I just can't.
Throwing a tantrum now won't help. Robert, and you need to figure it out. Take care and goodbye. I blocked that number and headed straight to the phone store to change my number. About 3 months passed. I heard from a gym buddy, who was also close to Robert, that he no longer had any time or money for hobbies. He's working day and night to pay back the money he borrowed from his parents. I thought I saw Caroline downtown when I was out with friends, but they're no longer my concern. They got what they deserved.
When I told my parents about everything, they suggested I live with them. I'm planning to leave states soon, so I probably won't have to deal with those people anymore.
I'm looking forward to new beginnings over there.